Today, we're talking about a man who didn't just dance, he taught an entire nation how to see dance in a completely new light.
Yeah, this is way more than just a history lesson. It's really the story of a creative rebellion, one that totally broke the rules and changed Indian culture forever.
And believe it or not, this story actually starts not in the past, but with a huge celebration that's happening right now. So picture this. Every single December, the city of Kolkata just comes alive for the Uday Shankar Nrityotsav. And it's so much more than a festival. It's a living, breathing tribute to the man who kicked off a revolution in Indian dance. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, the most recent festival brought together 24 different dance organizations. This is not a small get-together, it's a massive event where the whole community comes out to celebrate one man's incredible vision. Okay, so that brings us to the big question. Who was this guy, Uday Shankar, and why does his name still carry so much weight in the dance world today? Well, he's known as the father of modern Indian dance. And look, that's not just some fancy title they hand out. He earned it by doing something incredibly brave. He looked at the ancient, super rule-bound world of classical Indian dance and said, "We can do more." He created something completely new, something theatrical, expressive, and deeply human. So what did this new kind of dance actually look like? I mean, how do you just invent a whole new way to move? To really get it, you gotta see the contrast. Traditional Indian dance is, beautiful, but it's incredibly strict. It's all defined by this complex footwork and very specific hand gestures. Shankar's style was a rebellion against all that. It was fluid, it was spontaneous, and it was all about telling a story with your entire body, not just following an ancient set of rules. He called his style creative dance, and it was this brilliant fusion. He would pull inspiration from Indian mythology and folk traditions, but then he'd present it with all the drama of Western theater, using modern lighting, amazing sets, and even brand new music written just to crank up the emotion of his stories. But he didn't just stick to retelling old myths. Shankar proved that dance could be a really powerful tool for talking about society, and you can see this perfectly in one of his most famous works. In his ballet, Labor and Machinery, he told the story of India's shift from a rural to an industrial world. The dancers playing labor moved with this fluid, organic grace. But the dancers representing machinery, whoa. Their movements were sharp, angular, almost robotic, showing how people were becoming just cogs in a giant, soul-crushing machine. It was dance as social critique, and it was powerful stuff. Shankar didn't just keep this new style in India. He took it global. And the funny thing is, his journey started not in a dance studio, but in an art school in London. Back in the 1920s, Uday Shankar was actually in London, studying to be a painter. He had zero formal dance training. But then, destiny steps in. He meets the most famous ballerina on the planet at the time, Anna Pavlova. She sees him dance and is just mesmerized. She immediately convinces him to join her company, where they created and starred in 2 ballets on Indian themes that toured all over the world. But here's the kicker. Pavlova saw his unique genius and gave him advice that would literally change the course of his life. She told him, "Don't try to be a Western dancer. Go back to India, study your own art, and build something new from your own rich heritage." That one conversation changed everything. So, taking her words to heart, Shankar went back to India and started his absolute dream project, a creative utopia in the Himalayan foothills of Almora. This wasn't just a school. It was meant to be a cultural hub where artists could live, learn, and create together, far away from any distractions. And just look at who he brought together. The center became a magnet for an unbelievable amount of talent. We're talking future legends like the actress Zora Sehgal, the iconic filmmaker Guru Dutt, and the master musician Ustad Allauddin Khan. They all came to Almora. It became this incredible melting pot of creativity that would shape Indian arts for decades. Tragically, though, the dream was short-lived. The center had to close after just 4 years because they ran out of money. But in a way, it was too late. The spark had already been lit. The students and teachers from Almora scattered all across India, carrying Shankar's revolutionary spirit with them into dance, music, and film. And that legacy, well, it rippled out in ways that maybe even Shankar himself couldn't have imagined. You see, the Almora Center didn't just produce dancers and filmmakers. It was the exact place where another global icon found his true calling. And that icon was his own younger brother, Ravi Shankar. Now, here's a fun fact that surprises a lot of people. The world's most famous sitar player didn't start with music. Nope. He began his career at the age of 10 as a dancer in Uday's international troupe. Crazy, right? It was at the Almora Center that Ravi met the legendary music teacher Ustad Allauddin Khan. Uday saw his brother's true passion and encouraged him to make a really difficult choice: give up the glamour of dance and commit himself to the tough discipline of music. Ravi listened, and well, a sitar legend was born. And today, Uday Shankar's vision is still alive and kicking. It continues through that annual festival in Kolkata, which is often inaugurated by his own daughter, the dancer Mamata Shankar, keeping the rebellion and the legacy alive. So when you really step back and look at his impact, it's just staggering. He pioneered modern Indian dance, he was the catalyst for his brother Ravi Shankar's legendary music career, and he trained people like Guru Dutt, who went on to define an entire era of Indian cinema. His influence is everywhere you look. It just leaves us with this one powerful question. How can one artist's courage and imagination completely redefine a nation's cultural identity? The life of Uday Shankar pretty much gives us the answer.